Mary Rie, could you please take us back to the theme that we had last year in the Health Week so that we can connect it with the continuation for this year?
Thank you, Dr. Karemi. To our viewers, my name is Mary, as what Dr. Karemi has mentioned. Joe Kiwarie, I serve at PCA Makandara Parish, and I'm delighted to be here tonight to discuss a prominent issue in our society and also to walk with you through the Health Week program. And when we reflect on last year's theme, which was talking about coming back to our senses, it was a powerful theme because it talks about the prodigal son who left his father's home, having demanded all what he thought that he owns in that home, the shares from the father. And when he went back, when he went and left his home, he misused everything that he had gotten from the parents. And when everything was done, he decided now he felt that he is very remorseful. And he felt that much has been wasted and gone. And the Bible tells us that he came back to his senses. And there is where we had drawn the theme last year, coming back to our senses. And when he came back to his senses is when he realized that I've sinned against my father, I've sinned against God, and I need to go back to my father and apologize. And now we see him coming back to his father's place. Yeah.
Okay. And now I think we need to, as we think about the story that is recorded in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, as we think about that story, we need to go back to the first reading. The incident between Cain and Abel, and Cain's conversation with God. When Cain responds to God, am I my brother's keeper? And this is the question that probably has caused most of the problems that are there when it comes to dealing with addiction in society. This man, Cain, was speaking from the level of arrogance, irresponsibility, and don't care attitude. I don't care. Who am I? Why are you asking me that question? Even though he knew what he had done, Cain was arrogant enough to show as if God was not in his right mind to ask this particular question. And so we have to think about it critically in the first reading and ask ourselves as a church, could there be some of us even today and in the society today who still believe that we are not our brother's keepers? Do we really rejoice in the things that we see amongst our own kith and kin, brothers and sisters who are addicted? Do we love it? I remember one of our ministers at one point preached at a place that I was in, and he says, there's some of the family members that we need the grace of God to coexist with. And true to the fact, not just in those of us that are in the ministry, in almost every family, we may not have alcoholic or a drug addict, but we have this person in the family that we require the grace of God to be able to reason with them or even to coexist with them. So now when we have this problem of addiction, we have to ask ourselves, and not from the level, that pedestal level that Cain was in. Do I care? Yeah. Is it my business? Am I my brother's keeper? But when we look at it critically, who is not his brother's keeper? What is the business of being called a brother if you cannot care for your brother? And when God called us the people of God, the children of God, and kept us in this world, he never expected some of us to remain in an elevated position or look down on others. We are all equal beings in the eyes of God. Cain asked the question, am I my brother's keeper? Could there be some of us who are still asking that question? And maybe we can ask you this question. Aren't you your brother's keeper? He may be an addict, he may be an alcoholic, but is there something that you can do? Are there some sins, not just of omission, but also of commission? Could there be something that we have done that we ought not to have done for some of us, for some of our brothers and sisters to be the way they are? Or the sins of omission, could there be some things that we ought to have done that we have not done? And I think this is a basic question that we need to address tonight. The sins of both commission and omission. So, can you further help us to understand the whole concept of addiction and why we still look at people differently from us in the society?
Thank you, Daktari. Before we come to addiction, allow me to come back also to the second reading, which is now also reminding us about when the brother came, when the prodigal son came home, the brother did not receive him well. In fact, he was not happy when he saw the father had thrown a bash, like he had invited people for party, and everyone was coming because the lost son has now come back home. And now the brother, full of anger and a lot of bitterness, he was asking, this son of yours who called you and asked for everything, he went and he has misused his life, and now you are celebrating him. And I think that is where we as Christians are. We don't care about our addict brother, our lost brother, who have now come back to their senses.
This son of yours,
yes,
not my brother.
Yes, not
this son of
this
yours.
Son of yours.
So it's a blame game.
Yes,
to the dad.
And by the way, Daktari, in all of our homes, in one way or another, we have addicts. We cannot run away from them. As much as we attend the Sunday service, we sing and we praise God, awaiting for his second coming. I want to assure you that in every homes, we have addicts in one way or another. So what is the position of us, like now the brother who did not receive his brother? In fact, the father had to ask him, this son was lost. Are you not happy that he's back? And what is the position of the church? Receiving all the addicts, being our brother's keeper, standing in the gap and enabling each and every one of us to take our role. We don't need to start very far. We need to start where we are, right where we are. In all our parishes, in all our congregations, in one way or another, in the community that we are serving, we have addicts. And they are there. So we need to ask ourselves, what can we do better to accept the lost son and to celebrate together with God who has made him to come back? Yes, because last year theme was coming back to their senses. Yes, they have come back to their senses. Have we received them accordingly? Or whenever we see them in our church? And I remember I was telling you on our way to this place how we used to chase them when we had crusade. We would fight these addicts and would noisemakers. We would fight them. And by the way, I'm one of those people who are confessing that may the Lord forgive us as we were chasing them, because we see as if they are interrupting with our crusade. But Jesus came for those who are lost. And I think through this program of the entire year, may the Lord help us as the health board carries over their week. May the Lord also open all our eyes, not only to be a week of remembering all what we are saying, but a week of action. From this year, from this month, a week of action, that in every congregation we will embrace them, we'll bring them closer, even the ones we have at home, our brothers. And by the way, if you go back to our homes, our parents are not bothered with the sober one. They are bothered with those who are unsober. And we see them sleeping along the street. They are hopeless. Now we as the brothers, like the big brother, may the Lord enable us to embrace them like the father, saying they were lost, now they are back.
Let's be a little bit dramatic here.
Yes, yes.
I'm imagining a situation whereby we have this sober brother,
Yes.
innocent,
Yes.
quote unquote, wearing a suit and a tie, coming back home, but does not want to get in because of the celebration that is inside there. This smartly dressed brother doesn't want anything to do with the lost brother. And that is why he doesn't even want to identify with him. He calls him your son.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the Cain story,
Yes.
am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, yes.
He was literally responding to the dad in such a manner. And then I think the church may be guilty of this kind of a behavior or approach to matters.
Yes.
You were at a crusade. This guy comes staggering and making noise. You don't see him as a potential recovering person, a potential person who can come to their senses, you see them as a disturbance, as a bother, as a person who is dirty. And even to welcome him to sit in our pews.
You don't like.
Our pews, the church is washed. What if they mess up in the church? We want the sanctuary clean, and we don't even like their smell.
Yes,
And this guy in a tie is imagining now going to welcome the dirty brother.
Yes.
And sometimes, even in the society, we find ourselves not accepting our brothers in such a manner.
Yes.
And I tend to think there could be a reason why Luke has dedicated an entire chapter to the whole concept of lostness. The lost sheep.
Yes.
Lost outside in the wilderness.
Yes.
Then Jesus comes to the lost coin. Lost inside.
Yes.
Not
Outside.
in the wilderness, inside the house. The common denominator is that both were lost. The one outside and the one inside.
Yes.
How about the third story of lostness? The prodigal.
Yeah,
Though the title is on the prodigal, now we have one who was lost outside, another one who was lost inside. Because that which was lost outside and this that was lost inside are both a problem to the owner.
Very true.
The father has been looking for his lost son out there. And when the son is found, now the father has to stop celebrating with the outside lost son and now start wasting time to plead with the lost. He didn't know that even the one that was inside was lost.
Was lost, yeah.
But he's staying out there. How? How can you do this? And sometimes the lostness that we do not really identify with when it comes to thinking about those that are addicted, maybe even in our perception of the addicts.
Yes.
Dirty, noisemakers, wasteful.
Yes,
They
maybe.
wasted
Very true.
themselves.
Yes.
Our dad's resources, they may even have sold their pieces of land. So what else do they want? And at that particular point in time, we do not see our lostness in lacking a forgiving spirit. Though we say every Sunday, forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Very true.
But when it comes to the concept of addiction, we do not want to come to their level.
And to a point, Daktari, we always see as if it is their fault. They were well educated. Our parents took them to school. They went and they achieved a lot. But sometimes we say it is their fault. And when we start now saying it is their fault, we start on the other end to accuse them. Without understanding the causes of this addiction, maybe along the way what came up to this learned daktari, to this learned lawyer, to our brothers who were sober when they were young, because there is no parents who would wish their children to be addicts. But along the way, we know the work of the devil is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But now we want to focus that God has come so that we may have life and have it in abundance. And now because God already gave us a mission to go outside and make disciples, which are these disciples are we going to make if the lost one, when they come, we just start blaming them, behaving like the brother of the prodigal son, feeling that we are so much entitled, we will not even accommodate this lost brother who is thinking, who is not in good health, who is hopeless, like they don't have even the future. Others are not even having their families. And even others are in a position of where they feel that nobody even cares for them. So whenever they come to where we are, we don't accommodate them. But whenever we have a family gathering, and maybe the parent is telling all the children to line up, they will line up. They will be there. Hopeless and not in good outlook. They are there stinking. And they will say, this is my brother. Uni bro yangu. This is my brother. These are my brothers. We will never leave them out. We need now to look on the strategy strategies of how are we going to support them. As a church, now we need to come out from our comfort zone of being self-righteous. Let us remind ourselves, we were also lost, but Jesus came so that we may have life and have it in abundance. And because he has sent us out, now we need to embrace the spirit of embracing them. Let us not ask, are we our brother's keeper? Let us open our hands, we open our hands and we embrace them. We really break the bond and we bring them back. We break the barrier and we restore the bond. We let them feel comfortable where they are. And through the process that God is going to help each and every parish, we are able to restore. As much as it is it needs God's grace and a lot of patience, we need also to show them that they also belong to church. And by the way, Dr. Karemi, if you attend most of the crossover kesshas, they are all over there. They sing and they praise. Because my last over kesha was in Tambaya. They all come. They come and they know the songs because they have a foundation, a very good foundation of Christianity. But along the way, they meshed their life and they went. And now because they are coming back, and others are not even in a position of coming back, we are the sober brother. We need now to bring them back and to look on the strategies that will help them. And I think that's why during this Health Week program, it is a program that is calling us to action, not now to sit down and wait to go to Zion or hallelujah, amen. It is an action whereby I wish each and every one of our Christian brothers and sisters there down can just bring one, just one into the kingdom.
The other day, as our brother, the DSG, Reverend Baye, said something that made me think a lot. And he said, some of them, there are some of us who are happy that lost brother did not come in time when you had district prayers. They are good out there so that the guests may not be disrupted by the noise. So some of us who are inside are happy when those are out there, because if they come in when the district prayer or the women's guild fellowship or they are visitors in the house, they will become a disruption and an embarrassment. And sometimes we love it, yearn for the moment that they are not there. In terms of this other son who was refusing to come into the home, don't you think that silently he didn't? It's only that he did not use the language that Cain used. Am I my brother's keeper? He may have been wondering, now do you want me to share my wealth with my brother? It is literally asking, am I my brother's keeper? And that is what is also bothering us. If my brother who is lost sold his piece of land, if his education went down the drain, if he burnt down his house, am I the one who is going to host him?
Very true. Very true.
If he has no clothes because he sold the ones that he was wearing, is he going to share my clothes with me? If he is smelling and I've kept myself clean, am I going to actually to persevere the smell? Am I my brother's keeper? This is a question that we need to literally think about. Are we happy when they are out there? Don't we realize that this is a thorn in our flesh when that continues?
It is.
The more they are lost, the worse it is. How would you? God deliberately created us as social beings. So when they are out there and lost, it is not our joy to see them naked. It is not our joy to see them making noise. It is not our joy to see them lying by the sides of the roads. It is not our joy to have all these brothers and sisters in that kind of a problem. Our joy is mutually connected to what everybody is doing and what everybody is coming across. So, as we come to the health week, as we think about the health week, and the continuation of the last year's theme. Last year's theme was talking about breaking the barriers. Have we broken the barriers?
Wow, Daktari, I think we have a long way to go. Because maybe sometimes you start something, but culling it through it becomes a problem. And one of the human nature is that sometimes we are bored along the way, and even sometimes we are dealing with people who, you know, dealing with an addict. It's also good to remind ourselves that this is a disorder. And this is like any other patient whom we are taking care at home. But sometimes we don't see them as a disorder, as a disease, as like it's not normal. We treat it like it is ni kujitakia. It's just a volunteer, like he self-willing. It's upon him. It is it is not our fate. It is his fate. And the moment we realize it is a disorder, we'll be able to stand in a position of assisting them and helping them, listening without judging. Seeing, and then we step out for an action. Because sometimes when we look on the journey that we have gone through.
And can you use layman's language?
Yes.
Disorder, is it? Are you talking about a disease?
It's kind of it is somebody doesn't know that he or she has a disorder because it started slowly then it becomes, according to the DSM-5, that is a book that is used to define the sickness, the disorders. It is in that category, whereby it has been studied and it has been confirmed it is a disorder. Many a times we start dealing with those people who sells alcohol and beers and everything, but I think now that is even beyond us. What now we can deal with is helping our own and preventing from the young boys and the girls while in school, and also now dealing with the matters at hand now, the coming back, bringing it back. So when we talk about alcoholism, it is we don't say that alcoholic. We don't call them that way. We say it is alcoholic use disorders, AUD. When you say it is AUD, you don't call them walevi, because nobody feels good when you're telling them, come over nyinyi walevi. They don't feel good. You need to look for a sweet word that will, okay, as much as we know what we are saying, but you are welcoming them. So when we say alcoholic, it is the addicts, we call them alcoholic use disorders, because it is kind of a disorder, and in them they don't know whether it is a problem.
Yes.
But to us who are normal and sober, and we see the pattern of how it started and how they are doing it, as we stand and now say that this is now a disorder, and whereby it has to be confirmed even from the hospital, depending with the stages that they are in. So allow me kidogo daktari to define these, and also to look at the causes, because we also have the causes and what leads these people to alcoholism, because they were not born alcoholics. They decided it's a path that they took. They took because of various problems they have faced along the way. So we can say that alcoholism, it is a chronic. In fact, we usually say it is a chronic, because it is something that is developing in their body and they cannot survive without it. It is a chronic and progressive disease in which a person becomes physically and psychologically dependent on alcohol. Like they cannot live without alcohol. The way people wake up early in the morning and they think of tea and breakfast, they are addicts. They cannot live without alcohol. No wonder you find them, even when they don't have money, they will take a sufuria from the parents' house and they will sell it. They will do literally anything to make sure that they get some 5 shillings or 10 shillings to buy them something that can keep them moving. They cannot survive without. And I want us, Daktari, to look at the causes, because I've told you they were not born as addicts. It's something that we call it, maybe they were predisposed to something, or peer pressure. So we can look at the causes and the risk factor. Number one, we say it is biological, whereby they were predisposed. Maybe the parent was an addict, and through the birth and everything, they were predisposed to alcoholism. The other one is psychological. And Daktari, this is really killing people, because there are those people who feel when they are in stress, when they're in depression and trauma, they think of taking one for the road. It started that way. Let me take one for the road, at least this thing in it, okay, because I have a lot of pressure. But along the way, they have become addicts, because they have not dealt with the stress, the causes of the stress. They are curing the stress. And through now the curing of the stress and the trauma and everything, they find themselves becoming addicts. The other one, we call it social environment whereby it is peer pressure. They started in school, whereby they were in high school, they were introduced by others. Others, it is in their culture. Then the availability of the alcohol. And by the way, Daktari, if you do a proper survey, you will find that most of the joints that are open, we have so many alcoholic joints. If you want to do well in business, those people who are doing well in business, they are opening the joints. And it is everywhere, in our estates, in our village. I'm telling you, those people who are selling these alcohols and beers, they have money. And they are opening it everywhere. And even the laws and the guidelines which were there, nobody is now following them, because others are being opened by who is who in this country. So those are the causes. And the other one is family influence. Maybe you grew up in a family whereby alcohol was like a porridge, you know, whereby in every home there was that porridge. We used to take that porridge, and maybe you grew up in such a family. So these are the causes. And sometimes we find that these causes can really, especially the ones with the peer pressure. That's why we are talking, when we start preventing from the young boys and young men who are in school, we have a loom as a church. And I am trusting God during this health week. We will visit all our schools and let them know the causes, and let us start preventing, because I think prevention is better than cure.
Yes, it is. It is, has always been.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing, as you think about the rostness stories in the Gospel of Luke, it is the sheep that is roast.
Yes.
At least could be easily found because of the noise that it was making.
It's making.
The coin that was roast in the house was silent.
Silent.
So it's very difficult to know that the coin is lost until you go counting your money and know that one of them is missing, because it's inside the house and not making any noise. So before we can come to the story of the prodigal, it seems like it's more difficult to look for the one that is lost inside than the one that is lost outside there.
Yeah.
And the lost outside there is the one that is making noise.
Yeah,
I'm an alcoholic. I am drunk. And I am making all the noise and singing so that you know that I am. So at least that is known. Yes. The one inside is very difficult to identify. Yeah, now, let's take a 5 minutes break at this juncture, and then we continue the conversation after break. Viewers, see you after the commercial break.
That's okay.
The PCA Health Week 2025 is here, and it's all about breaking the barrier and restoring the bond.
Tunaita watu wote kukubali ya kwamba tuna changamoto katika nchi zetu.
There is no alcohol or drugs that are sold in Kenya without the support and the knowledge of the chief and the OCS.
Mkubali tuwapokee ndugu zetu, dada zetu, watoto wetu, wazazi wetu ambao wamepotoka kidogo wakaenda kwa ulevi.
Nilianza kusikia ulekevu, kindi kama kwa malaria, kuna homa, singizi, ukikaa kwa kivuli wa mute na lala.
And we don't blame them for what has happened.
Sababu nilikuwa najifanyia kazi na saa hii siwezi jifanyia. Hata saa hii wewe mwenyewe sikuoni. Na naona hata familia yangu inateseka kwa sababu ya hiyo pombe tu ya siku moja.
We all understand that people in addiction, no one wakes up one morning and decides that I want to be an addict.
Due to my excessive drinking, I've had a number of accidents.
Na sasa sisi tunataka tuwavute kwa njia ya upendo.
What I will request is to get assistance from any quarter so that I can be able to fight this thing.
Na tunajua sana mtu kama mimi ni nzito sana. Kwa sisi ni watu wa kanisani, hatungepatana na hiyo mkazo.
Let us welcome them. Let us embrace them. They are ours.
Starting the 6th to the 12th of October 2025.
Viewers, welcome back to the conversation on alcoholism and drug addiction as we think and address the theme that we have this year, breaking the barriers, restoring the bond. And how do we go about it? This is the question that we are trying to address. We are trying to expound on the theme so that we can all understand what the theme is all about. In my understanding of the story of the lostness, and especially the story of the prodigal son, there are three parties in this particular case that are evident. One party is the father. The father acts as the reconciler between the two sons, embracing this and pleading with the other to embrace the other son. So in this kind of a scenario, we must have one party who is playing the role of a mediator or the reconciler to the two that are warring or are in conflict. Then we have the part that is being played by the one outside. In this case, the prodigal. What is the role of the prodigal? The prodigal is also the confessing one. The prodigal is the one that has come back to his senses. And having come back to your senses, you say and declare, I will rise up and go back to my father's place. So the prodigal has a role to play. The resolve, making a decision, acknowledging that I have been lost, acknowledging that I have been addicted, acknowledging that there is a better life, there is a better way, rather than the way that I have been spending my life. And then there is the other party, the one of the insider son who was never left, or never lost, quote unquote. He also has a role to embrace the lost son. And as a church, we have to ask ourselves, there could be some two parties that are being identified here. But are we identifying ourselves as the reconciling party? What role do we play? Should the church, the reconciling party, or the father in this case, be the one that is showing the one that you are lost, or showing the other one that you are supposed to coexist? You are brothers. Even as one is asking, am I my brother's keeper? And the other one is low, wasted, very low, feeling sorry, seeking for forgiveness. Who will play the mediator's role? This is the challenge that we have as a church. Can we be entrusted with the role of the mediator? Can we be entrusted to hug the law in society, the so-called addicts, to hug them so that we can be a role model to the one that is refusing to come in and hug the other. If we are going to break the barrier, and if we are going to restore the boards, there has to be a role model. There has to be a big daddy. We have to have a reconciler. And this is where we are saying the church is in a very, very important position. The position of bridging the gap, breaking the barrier, restoring the board. This is a role that the church can do in a very good way. How do we go about it? This is what we are trying to learn in this Health Week. How do we go about it? By amplifying the role of the mediator, the father, the reconciler in this particular case. But we have to understand both parties, the lost and the one that is seemingly not lost, though in our understanding is literally lost. So, for us to understand this case, we need to know what are the causes, what are the effects, what are the symptoms. Do we just see somebody who is drunk or somebody who has been drug addicted, and we don't even know or get to understand them? Can you go further, and Reverend Mary, help us understand who is this we are dealing with?
Thank you, Dr. And I love the part that you have said that we need to be like the father who realized that this was a lost son, and now he has come back. Are we not happy seeing him that he has come back? And to, the entire Health Week is talking about now breaking the barrier and also restoring the bond. And when we are talking about that, we need to restore with a lot of gentleness. We have a spirit of accommodating them, despite their situation, despite their background. We need now to bring them closer. Now, when we are talking about alcoholism, how it started, there are also things we call signs and symptoms. How can we say that this is an AUD person, alcoholic use disorder? Number one, there is an increased tolerance. You find that even though they are drunkard, they still they feel they need more and more, even though they know it is very harmful. Because I think in every advertisement, it's also written that it has an alcoholic which is very harmful to your body. Then there is also the loss of control over drinking. They started with one beer, peer pressure. Now it has become like a pattern. It has become like a pattern. Then there is now the final, we call it like the final stages, whereby they cannot do away without it. Whenever they are not drunk, they are shaking, they are sweating. So the withdrawal systems, you find that they are totally, they are dependent with this alcoholic. They cannot live without it. And they also neglect their responsibility, whereby you find one was a teacher and is no longer teaches in school. And there is also the family. They have neglected their family. And the effects of alcoholism, I want to categorize them in 4 categories. Number one, physical health, whereby it really damages their diseases. It damages their liver. And it can bring a liver problem. And again, it also has the heart problem. Then it also damages the brain. No wonder when they first seek when they are drunkard, they are not able to follow up with their speeches. They talk a lot, others talk a lot, and they do a lot of dramas because it really affects their frontal lobe, the frontal lobe. So you find that the other one is mental health, whereby the effects about depression. They have a lot of anxiety, memory loss, and they are very aggressive. And the other one is about social. They are not able to relate socially because they break the relationship. And in every family, for that drunkard brother, they hate him so much. Like, you are the one who is causing problem in our family. So there is the broken relationship, there is the violence. Others, they don't even have their wives. No wonder you find them, they become very, very nagging. They don't keep their families because nobody will ever live happily with this drunkard man who keeps on changing, saying that I will change, and they hardly don't change. And you find that they are not able to contain that family because they are always drunkards. So the wife decided to carry the children and leave him. And when he's left alone, he starts now disturbing now the parent. Because whenever he comes out from his idleness and his drunkardness, he comes back home, selling everything because he need money, he doesn't have money. And when he comes, he starts disturbing the parent. I want food. And maybe the parent is sleeping or is sickly, they don't care. And even when the other brothers or sisters intervene, they have a lot of fight with them. So they still break that relationship over social. They don't have that. That is one of the effects. The other one is economic, because financially they are not strong, because when they were employed, and now he was a teacher and he no longer works as a teacher, so he doesn't have employment. So he lost that job. Economically he's drained. There is the medical bill about his health. There is the loss of employment. So economically, he cannot even be able to do proper farming, because whenever he gets money, he sells everything, and he gets into alcoholism. So I think it's a very big, it has a lot of effect. And sorry to say this, majority of the children whom are born in a alcoholic addicted family, they are in a great problem, because they always see a father who is not sober. And we have really lost it even in our community. I remember when we had our former deputy president talking about this alcoholism and fighting about it, because it really takes the stars. It's good to say that it really takes the stars. The doctor, the nurses, all those people who are stars in our family. And those people who take alcohol, daktari, they are so good. Their heart is very clean. Even when they are drunkard, they like telling, have I wronged anybody? Am I okay with anybody? Like, in real sense, they are very good. They have a very good and a clean heart. But unfortunately, because they have become addict, they lose the relationship with the family members. And we end up beating them, taking them to prison. I'm telling you, if all chiefs can be asked in our village, they still solve this problem of this act, because Amekuja, he has stolen something, he has taken something, and they've sold everything, literally everything. And everybody, when they see these addicts within their homes, they are always a rat. Even when they come at Mashakaya, Maombolezi, we are always a rat when we see them behaving the way they are behaving. So those are the effects of alcoholism. Yeah.
You know, still going back to the theme that we have, as we think about now, having talked about breaking the barrier in the last year's theme, now we are dealing with restoring the board. And we need to ask ourselves, what really hinders us from restoring the board? What was hindering the other son from accepting to restore the board? And I think there is a spirit of entitlement that comes into us when we think about this is us. You know, when this boy says that he wasted all his wealth, and now understanding that what is left is his, he forgot one thing, and from a Christian standpoint, he forgot one thing, that all wealth belongs to the Father.
Belongs to the Father,
belongs to the Father, and he can give to whoever he desires. He also forgot one thing. Life is very fragile.
It is.
He can collapse there and then and leave the same world he was thinking is his to the one that he was condemning. So when we allow ourselves to be overtaken by the spirit of entitlement, one of the things we fail to realize is that we are all subject to God and his plans. So when we look at ourselves as God's subjects, and we all submit ourselves to that other higher power, then we know that whatever we think is ours, whatever we think we are and whatever we have may not be ours. We can be taken home, and the prodigals can be left enjoying and selling the other properties that we are fighting about. So now, we as a church are asking ourselves, and we want to take this issue seriously. At some point in the course of the week, some of us will be discussing further the concept, the idea of Alcoholic Anonymous. Alcoholic Anonymous is a group of, or a kind of a fellowship for those that are willing or have already come out of addiction, and any other who is willing to come out of addiction. It's a fellowship of the willing.
Yeah.
One has to be willing. A gathering of a people who can assemble regularly to come and encourage one another that it can be done. I have been clean. I have been away from addiction, either drug addiction or alcohol addiction, for some weeks, for some months, for some years. The fellowship of the willing. People call it Alcoholic Anonymous, but nowadays we are talking about AA and NA, Alcoholic Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. We are not supposed to know them. The only qualification to be in the group is that you must have been an addict at one time or the other. So these are people who have a common denominator, addiction. These are people who understand where they have been, where they are, and are focused on where they would want to be. They actually become very good proponents of recovery because they would talk to those that are still in addiction in a manner that those that are in addiction can identify with. And they themselves can identify with those that are still in addiction. And so when you go for one of them who is in recovery or one who has already recovered to be your sponsor or to be your role model or to be your mentor, then that is a person that understands. One of the things that really kills the people that are suffering from addiction is that the world, the church, the people who have never been addicted, the sober ones, can never understand them. And that's why we think as, we take addiction as one for the rotten in society, one who do not desire mercy. They need not to be restored back. But then we have to become the big brother or the big father. We are representing God.
Yes.
One of the questions I've always asked myself in particular situations is what I normally tell people. WWJD. What would Jesus do? Remember, this is one who would even eat with so-called prostitutes. This is one who would visit, interact, and fellowship with people like Zacchaeus, who are hated in society. This is one who was willing to die for the sinful, yet he was sinless. What would Jesus do? WWJD. For us as a church to be able to approach this matter, we all have to come to our senses. Probably not just the prodigal needs to come to their senses. It's not just the prodigal who is supposed to come to their senses. Even us as a church need to come to our senses. What would Jesus do? When we wear and embrace the Spirit of Christ who died for the sinful, yet he was not a sinner, then we know what would Jesus do. Jesus would embrace the sinners, the rotten, the addicts, and all for the sake of the kingdom. Are we operating for the sake of the kingdom? This is what we need to address this week. This is supposed to be our theme, so that together we can restore the board between the sinful and the righteous. So the theme is breaking the board.
Break the board.
No, breaking the barriers.
The barrier.
Restore the board.
Restore the board, yes.
Breaking the barriers, restore the board. Breaking the barriers and restore the board. Let's go out there and restore the board so that we may have one Christian family of the lost, the found, and the forgiven. So viewers, as you go through this week and as you continue to follow us in this particular media, may the Lord be with you. May the Lord subject you to humility and to accepting that both out there, inside, we could be lost. We need the one who restored the board between us and the Father so that we can be forgiven. So may the Lord bless you and be with you. See you next time in the next episode of Breaking the Barriers and Restoring the Board. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Mary, for this time. May the Lord be with you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Ni